So these are our annual abatement ordinances that we have to submit to the county by April 1st this year. They're actually
I don't know if your mic's on.
yeah, it is.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You okay to say that more? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have all of our TIP funds, some of which have matured, that we may pay. So we have enough money to pay all of the debt service for those funds. I did submit draft ordinances for your attorneys to review. I actually have not heard any, so I'm assuming that they're okay.
Let's see here.
They did review. And then, we do have an issue with our series 27A EC. And we will have to levy, as we did last year, for those bonds.
Any questions for Mary?
Yeah, they're actually, wait a minute, when you're asking for that,
The levy that you're talking about for
the
2027.
total set service that we have to
Levy for the
levy for, the 27A is 690,000, 2007B is 95,195, and 2007C is 58,000. So if you remember what those are, the 27A is building, the 27B is the fire, is the 911, and the 2007C is the fire.
Any other questions?
You are correct. You're absolutely correct. But I think, to the municipality's credit, that our 2002 A bond, B and B bonds, the debt service of 1.7 million and change, if you will, expression, are fully funded, the series 2008 at 767,000, fully funded, series 2009. 584,450 fully funded. So the TIP funds, the TIP funds in the so that's TIP 2 and 3. We absolutely recommend you wait, because if you don't, the county automatically releases your.
Yes, they're levy for the outstanding
They
balance.
need to pay. You are correct. I don't want that.
All right.
And then that money will come back into the municipality, the levy amount, and as last year, Mr. Rowell, who had a trustee for that service.
Have any,
With respect to that levy, it was something.
should have forward on that. The first one you read, 127.
The first one I read that was public
Yes, ma'am.
is the 2002 $1,769,000. Yeah,
A and B.
A and B.
Can you read it again?
part of your packet, it's on page number 2. So you have everything that's fully funded, and then the ones that we have to,
We try to find the nominal and all of the amounts. We go right off of the levy schedules, part of the ordinances, these amounts. Yes.
Last year we did.
Correct.
This year, I guess we're going to probably do something.
Correct.
So, will it stay automatically the same? In other words, what I'm trying to find out before it is, the amount that we levied last year, I mean, this amount is going to be divided up, I mean, that's going to be, it's bad math, I mean, it's going to be divided up.
We do a portion. Right.
Proportional.
Right.
But my question is not automatic, that was just a levy for that one particular time at that time last year.
Correct. This is an annual function.
Correct.
If you recall, the first 2 years, we actually had funds available to service
So we
that
can do
for
that.
those 3 bonds. And that may happen again, what we're hoping for is that that will happen. That we will obtain what we call injections, sale of land, et cetera, which is what supplies the 27 bonds.
Right, that's what was.
That's the alternate.
That was the plan, the impact fee was supposed to take care of it too.
You are correct. You know, and then there's no other way to explain this. We didn't provide.
Well, we haven't did any, no one built.
No one purchased any land.
Land, right.
Right.
So that's what happened. But up until that time,
Including property, and, you know, we had
Yeah,
that
tell-
property that
what impact we got, impact fee money.
they were already in, though, remember? They had already paid that. DP purchased that property. And the impact fees had already been collected. That was part of it last year.
So we haven't had any movement yet. But no, what I'm
But
asking,
we will.
I'm looking forward to it. What I'm asking is, will it change? Last year, we had, at the time, we were letting it May, they quite actually were letting it get in December. We have a levy in December. This time, will it be another levy again, or will it stay the same, or? No, will be another levy in May. This coming May, it'll be portionable to this.
This is not going to show up until the next tax.
October.
Yeah, you've already.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. Even though we're talking about doing it, they won't show
Yeah,
up.
the county has to get the ordinances in place and the amounts of the village, all of the villages throughout the county are doing. So that, yes. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I just wanted to make, in other words, it will be another levy. I thought it would be, and it was just saying I go by time everything.
By the time everything is settles. I guess it's actually, they are doing an abstract of their property tax. I don't know if that's what
But now, I do want to make it clear that this is just a levy. In other words, this is not a permanent. This is just a levy for that one time.
unless we don't obtain funds for these bonds next following year, then it's not one time. That's the hope. The hope is that we get this thing going back on track.
And I've already talked to Mary, we're going to sit down and take a look exactly what we're doing this next year to find out what changes we can make so that we don't have to levy next year. It's something that, in the previous administration we kind of looked at. So we're going to take a close look at it, need some time to take a look at what changes can be made.
Because there are some things that I like to see. We have to do some other changes, but I'd like to see some other things we try to offset that. Because it may not be right where we want it, but it may be some other things we can do to bring in commerce.
Trustee Lynch?
all set and everything, we're all funded up until October, as I was saying. Then come October, we have to go through and all the funding.
This is what's coming happening now. This is what we're sure approving tonight.
It'll be in
For,
No.
and you say October, I say September. The property tax bills, they were due March first,
March first.
and then September first. Which is when they're supposed to be done.
Right.
And you remember for quite a while, they were, the county was late with bills. So whenever that second bill comes is when you're gonna see the new levy. In one year, it was December first.
Right. Any other questions or comments? All right, these ordinances will be on next week's agenda. All right,
Thank you, Board.
thank you very much. Move to item number 3, ordinance to amend the fiscal year from May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2014. Everyone should receive the ordinance. Again, this is just to get us back on a 12-month ordinance, like we should have done. Any questions about this ordinance? All right. Hearing nothing, then this will be on next week's agenda for approval. Item number 4, we have an ordinance for the Russo property, 6B classification. Russo property, as everyone is aware, this is Wayne Steel, which is over on Cottage Grove. Yes.
This one section was just added today, because that was our party tax for the year, so. Does everybody have this, and then one day, March 19th?
Yeah, but all it is, it tells, explains what 6B is. So, and it's right out of Cook County Assessor's bulletin. And if we don't know what 6B is, right now, we got problems. All sorts of reports. The other thing too is I've asked Mary to review this. We talked a little bit for the meeting, and we know that years ago the board passed that we weren't going to give out any more 6Bs to any other properties except for DP Partners. But at the same time, we do not want to lose Wayne Steel. Wayne Steel has been a good business in Sauk Village, and it's good for our community. So before next Tuesday, I've challenged her to try to come up with another way to give them a tax break rather than a 6B. So Mary is going to be working on this. Hopefully she'll have something for us before next Tuesday.
So just so I understand, this is an expansion of a 6B, extension rather, I should say
Extension.
expansion.
Here, you want a copy? You want a copy of the ordinance? I have a copy of the ordinance, so that you can review
Yes,
it.
please. So this is a building that's already built,
Right.
and they already have a 6B, and now they're asking for an extension.
Correct.
Okay. So
And it's
I-
sitting in a TIF also.
Correct.
So
Yes.
hopefully there's something else.
At the
we can do.
far end.
At the far end, up against the tracks,
Just
on Cottage Grove.
Yep. They were actually the first ones that are.
They were. That's right. So, what we have before you tonight is an ordinance, but again, we're looking at, Canada to find out if there's something else we can do, rather than extending the 6B that will still, entice them to continue to stay in Sauk Village. All right? Is there any other questions? There will be, everyone, if you're on notify us if you have anything that we can do, but you'll notify us.
Actually, yes, and the other thing that we're going to do is run the pro forma to see what the extension would do. The reason that we're doing this is because, remember, the alternate revenue source for those TIF bonds that are performing is the increment of these projects. So that's kind of why we look at extensions of certain things.
Right.
So if there's another way that we could help them, if the numbers look bad on the extension of the 6B, maybe there's another way we can help them.
They just added a pretty huge expansion back in,
A year or two ago?
that was last year, I think they added it.
I remember when they added the front portion, I remember when they added the back portion, but I can't remember exactly the dates.
Or the deputy had to go out there and look
But we'll see what Mary can come up with, before next Tuesday night, and whether,
Okay.
again, I know that we don't wanna lose this business, but we also know that, like Mary brought up, this is how we're paying these bonds,
We
and
just need to make sure that.
we're able to pay them.
Because that's part of the bond ordinance, is when we do that. Tell the people who purchase the bonds, this is what we do.
Correct. Any other questions about this? Again, there may be changes before next Tuesday night, we'll get those changes to you. We're hopeful that Mary can find something else. All right, any other questions on that one? Hearing none, we'll move to item number 5, public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to myself. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on a topic of their choice. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. And we're going to ask everyone, if you have something, please come to the podium. Because if no one's at the podium, we're going to move the meeting along. If you would, please make sure you give your name and address for the record.
Rose Langston, you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention, there is a program out, and no time for me to announce that next Tuesday's meeting. It's called the Smart Patient. This is put on by the Honor Society of Nursing. This is going to be on Wednesday, April 3rd, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at Purdue University Calumet, 2200 169th Street in Hammond, in the Alumni Hall, Student Union and Library Building, 3rd floor. What this is this program is designed to provide valuable information to the public on how to stay safe and well, either at home or in a hospital. There's not going to be any speakers. Going to be a lot of tables with information, and it has something to do with consumer information prevention, infection, caregiver. Everything will not apply to everyone, but this is a good thing to have. It is a free thing. They have refreshment provided, and this is coming from the registered nurse, Joan Dorman. And if you need any additional information, it's Dorman, J at Purdue, Cal Ed. Okay, and I do have more information if anybody's interested in it. And this has something to do with heart attacks, medication, and so there's quite a bit of information. That's it.
Excuse me, Rose, how do you spell Dorman?
D-O-R-M-A-N.
Thank you.
All right, next.
I got a couple of questions. Couldn't hardly hear over there. I think the lady that just now said we received $1,789,000 is fully funded for the Series 2002 A&B bonds. Is that money that's coming back into the village? I couldn't hear over there. I didn't understand what she was talking about.
Do you have anything else?
And the second question is she anticipated some impact fees? Did she say how much they were going to be? And the third question is that Robinson Engineering has submitted a lot of reports over the years about the different programs and plans they have submitted for Illinois EPA. I'd like to know which trustees are reviewing these reports. They're being paid, but I'd like to know who's reviewing and commenting on those. Also, Baxter and Woodman also is submitting reports for tip 3. And I also like to know which trustees are reviewing those and comments, and why aren't these comments available for the public? Also, McGladden and Pullman, they suggested when they did accounting that you adopt certain internal audits to control how the money is spent and, be accountable. I want to know, are those measures, have those measures been undertaken? And also the last one is that for Kane McCann, okay, we paid them $3,812 for professional service for economic development. I want to know who reviewed that report, where are the comments and suggestions, or, what's going on? These people are doing these reports and nobody's commenting, suggesting, we don't have them in the FOIA request where anybody looking at yet we paying these bills. Can you tell me which trustees is council what, and when are you guys doing this, and why is it not available for the public? We spending all this money for these different reports, and nobody's giving us any feedback or anything.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah.
That's it? Are you going to yield the floor? Okay, now you yield the floor. Kay McKenna, Mary Thompson, and I'll go not in any certain order. Mary Thompson was with us tonight from Kay McKenna. She's the one that's been working on the ordinances for the abatements and for the levies. She's also the one who just got to be talking to us about looking at Wayne Steel. And Wayne Steel's before us asking for a 6B, I think it is, tax break. But we're looking at, they will review Wayne Steel and find out if there's something else we can do to help them out rather than giving them 6B. So Kay McKenna looks at the finances, makes recommendations to the board and to the village. We asked a question about the bonds. We're not getting that money. What it is the money is sitting inside those areas so we can pay those bonds. We talked about fully funded, Series 2002 A and B. Those bonds that have to be paid out are $1,769,927.50. That money is there to pay that bond, so that bond is fully funded. We don't have to levy. We talked about Series 2008 bonds. That's for $767,547.50. The money is there to pay for those bonds. Those are fully. Those are fully funded. So we talk about fully funded. That means the money is there. So same thing with Series 2009 bonds. Again, another $500,000 there. So we do have money there. It's just 3 series bonds that the money's not there that we will have to levy on. So again, that's what we talked about working with Kay McKenna. We're going to be looking at this next year if there's any changes we can do to make sure that the money is there next year. So we are looking at the ones that were not fully funded this year. The other question you asked about was impact fees. Impact fees come when a business or a company comes to your village and buys property. Again, that's what helps pay for your bonds. And again, we don't have anything right now, but we're anticipating because the economy, as it gets better, we know there's businesses out there that are looking at our community, they're looking at other communities. So we are working on trying to get more businesses, and when they come in, they buy the property, and they start to build, there's impact fees. So again, it's anticipated future growth. Talked about Robinson Engineering on the plans and stuff we put together. First of all, let me go back to something else first. Baxter & Woodman has TIF number 3. They are also in charge of the engineering, anything that's going on over there. So if there's any improvements, expansions, I know that we have a road that we're looking at that we received some money going back to a Jesse Jackson Jr. Grant that goes back quite a few years. I was in meetings this last week about if we're going to continue moving that road all the way up to Cottage Grove. So that they are involved in those meetings in that TIF area. There's one more. There's one more here. Let's see. Robinson Engineering is doing reports, and one thing I had, I was going to do during my report, which I'm happy and pleased so that the board know, is that we received information from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, the IEPA, working on that low interest loan we're trying to get through, which came from which Governor Quinn has made low interest loans for infrastructure improvements. Everything's going forward, and there will be a special public hearing starting here on April 1st at 6 o'clock.
What time?
6 o'clock.
What day? What day?
What time is it? April 2nd? 6:45, okay, sorry. Good thing she's here to keep me in line. April 2nd, 6:45, but it will be posted. And what this is for public input based on the project plan and going forward. But we have here the IEP has reviewed, I'll show you one portion of it. The IEP has reviewed the above cited project plan and concurs with the applicant's findings that the proposed project is technically appropriate and cost effective. Unless new information provided through the public comment process causes a reconsideration, the agency will approve this planning at the close of the public comment period. So this is what we're trying to do is the low interest loan, which will, and every resident should receive the newsletter to their house talking about the phases phases 1, phases 2, and phase 3. This is phase 1, getting the low interest loan, repairing our wells, and this is for all 3 wells, wells number 1, 2, and 3. Again, this is part of the consent order that was approved by the IEPA, the Attorney General, and the courts to get all 3 wells up and running again. So we are right in line, and the IEPA Attorney General has approved the Robinson plan, and it's part of the consent agreement. So we're moving right along, again, towards Lake Michigan water, and just like the residents requested. So everything is in line, and again, the consent order is online. Consent order can be found also because it's in court records. So April the 2nd, 6:45 will be that hearing here at the Village Hall. And again, so we can continue moving forward on this low interest loan. It's all brand new air strippers at wells number 1, 2, and 3. And there's brand new iron removal systems. I can't remember the whole entire list, but it gives us a whole entire new water system for all 3 wells. So, and again, over time, which we agreed to the consent order, was a certain amount of feet every year of infrastructure will be repaired. Again, and we'll know that once we get the leak detection survey, so we'll know where the water's leaking the most, and we can start prioritizing. So by court order now, the village will repair so much infrastructure in the ground per year, so many fire hydrants or so many boxes. And that's by court order. So we will continue fixing those over the next few years. And once we get down to the level of the IVNR as approved, which is 8% or less, we will go back before them and application for Lake Michigan water. So that's where we're at on that. And that's all the notes that I can read. So, next.
I appreciate the information, but you still didn't answer my question. I appreciate it about water, but I asked which trustees were reviewing these plans before they sent it out, and I agree, I appreciate the information, but you didn't address my question.
Okay, Mr. Chief, trying to say that we're not going to debate, as you know, we've had your 3 minutes, but I will be kind enough to let you know that the trustees receive the plans. So all the trustees have received the plans. So we'll go next.
Didn't answer my question.
My name is Nathan Griffin. I live at 22317 Brookwood. And these questions are directed to you, Mayor. Number 1, do you think that you should receive respect? Number 2, do you think that you should be the mayor's office? Number 3, I would say because when Mr. Towers was mayor, you disrespected him because you told him that you would put the gavel up his butt. And I think that was very disrespectful for you to be intended to be the mayor of the village. I think that's very disrespectful.
Are you done?
I'm waiting on you to give me an answer.
You still have time
On the
left.
3 minutes,
Okay,
can you give me an answer on,
wait,
do you think that you should receive respect? When you don't get it. You must receive respect in order to get it. That's what I would say. You didn't give him no respect.
You can answer your questions if you yield the floor, but you still have time left. You have what? You still have time left. Do you have any other questions, or are you going to yield the floor?
I'm waiting on an answer. I read to you what I wanted you to answer. I'm waiting for you to give me an answer.
You have 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Do you have any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay, so you are going to yield the floor. I'll answer your questions. Okay? Is that okay?
You have an answer?
Okay, all right.
I'm waiting for an answer.
Yes, sir. Definitely, I think there's a respect that comes with a position. That respect is earned. And as elected officials, we need to earn the respect from the residents who we serve. So when it comes to respect, I know that you made a statement that certain individuals said that I said. I've never said that, and I think there's a lot of people here that know me. So I think again, people are going to believe what they want to believe. And I admit, there was times that the mayor and I, we did get into some heated discussions. And those were because that there was wrongdoing. So we are working on making sure that, number one, we're doing what's supposed to be done. Number two, sitting in this position, trying to work with the trustees so that we can get this village and continue moving forward. So your question was about respect. I respect you a lot, and I think you know that. I mean, we talk whenever you come by. So again, respect is earned. Now, you asked the question, should I be here in this position? Yes, I should. The board voted, and that's why I'm here. So that's where we're at there. But,
Well, do you, excuse me if I interrupt you, finish?
well,
Do you think that was right? What
okay.
you said?
Well, again, you've had your time, and what we do is we make sure the residents have their time, if they need the floor, to answer the questions to the best of our ability. If you'd like to talk after the meeting, I'm more than happy to talk to you. All right? We'll move to the next. Next person.
My name is Sid Harrison, and I'd like to piggyback on the stuff that Mr. Griffin is talking about.
Turn up the mic, can you?
I was here the night that you said all that. You told him to shut up, just like he was a kid. He is the leader of this village. You want to be the leader of this village. You want respect. In order to get respect, you have to give it. And what he wanted to know, do you think that you deserve respect? Because when people like Miss Washington or Miss Francine said something out of turn, you want the police to throw them out. So you want respect. In order to get it, you got to give it. And I respect it because I was raised that way. But I do not think that you should be a leader of this village.
Larry Stewart, Sauk to the tower. Now we got all
Hold the
that
mic
stuff.
up.
Now we got all that stuff out the way. Can we move the village forward instead of campaigning, it sounds like? I mean, this is, we're trying to move forward and I'm trying to speak forward. If we don't have respect, as we did, and I understand we did, let's try to now. People have got beat down, pushed out, stepped out. We've got a chance to move forward. We can spend the next 4 years standing here talking about nothing. I don't hear nothing going forward from the audience. Can I hear something from the board going forward? That's it.
Thank you.
Next.
Yes. I think in what Mr. Griffin said and the way he phrased it, we had a mayor that did not give respect. And you can't get it if you don't give it. I did not respect the man. I could never respect him. He talked down together. And, I think that if you can give respect, you're going to receive it. That's it.
Next, anyone else?
Bernadine Hopkins. Can you hear me?
No.
Bernadine Hopkins, Sauk Village Rescue. My question is this. When the water campaign was going on, this administration, with the exclusion of Trustee Benson, presented the argument that Lake Michigan water was not economical and that airstripping was the most financially feasible way to go. However, if airstripping is presently costing the village $50,000 per month, were you misleading the public, or do I have my figures incorrect? And the other thing is this, if the residents voted for Lake Michigan water, I do not understand why it's an issue. The airstripping thing that you're doing, you're now going to do permanent airstripping, which means that cost will be included or inclusive regarding the full amount for the infrastructure repairs and so on and so forth. So I don't understand how airstripping can be economical, and it's definitely not an improvement on our water. The quality it's still very bad. I still receive brown water, okay? And I simply don't understand. So could you help me?
Is that all you have? Peter, are you the floor?
One final question. I'd like to know if you are in support of Lake Michigan water, and if no, why? If yes, would you explain?
Now you're the floor. All right, let's talk about the first one. We'll talk about the water campaign, about the airstripping. The airstripping goes back to what the Attorney General and IEPA recommended going on back to 2010. The airstrippers we have in place right now were not put in place by the village, they were put in by the IEPA Attorney General. They came to Sauk Village and they installed those airstrippers. You talked about the village renting them for $50,000 a month. We're no longer renting them. We now own them. So we're not paying $50,000 a month for those airstrippers any longer. We are caught up. As of November the 8th, when I came in here, the only payment that had been made was a half a payment for the month of August. We are caught up now all the way through February, and tonight in a special meeting we voted to purchase those airstrippers. So those airstrippers are now Sauk Village, and we're no longer paying rent on those. Again, let's see here. I'm trying to think, I just made no bullet points. You talk about being in support of Lake Michigan water. My job is to do what the village residents requested. So talking about if I'm in support or if I'm not, my job is to work off of the referendum that was passed. The water referendum that was passed was twofold. So number one, show the village of Sauk Village pursue Lake Michigan water. Sauk Village continues to pursue. Hang on, there's no. Okay, I'll say it again. The first part of the water referendum, and I may not have this word for word, said, shall the village of Sauk Village pursue Lake Michigan water? Sauk Village continues to pursue Lake Michigan water. Number two, it said at a certain cost, not to exceed, I think it was $7.80 in addition to what you're paying. Number one, Sauk Village cannot do that. They cannot meet the second part of the water referendum. So what is Sauk Village doing? Sauk Village continues to pursue Lake Michigan water, working with the IEPA and the Attorney General through the consent order which was signed by the judge. How do we meet that second part? The second part is met by getting the low interest loan, getting our water, all three wells up and running, so we meet both the quality and quantity portion of the IEPA Attorney General, and fixing our infrastructure over the next 4 to 5 years. Again, having the leak survey, detection survey, that's being done. Repairing the infrastructure, which we agreed to by consent order to repair so much infrastructure per year, so many fire hydrants per year, or so many boxes per year, so that when we get to that spot where the IDNR, who will grant us Lake Michigan water, we're at that 8% or lower of water leaking in the ground, so that we can move forward with Lake Michigan water. We were before the IDNR. The IDNR made it very clear. Sauk Village, you do not qualify for Lake Michigan water at this time. We've talked about it before. There could be discussions. You know, Sauk Village may think that we're about 30 to 35% leak detection, or water leaking in the ground. IDNR and the IEPA feels that we're probably closer to 50%. So no matter how you look at it, between 30 and 50% of our water is going directly into the ground. There's no way that they're going to allow Lake Michigan water to come into Sauk Village knowing that 30 to 50% of it is just going into the ground. So there's no discussion. There's no discussion.
So you would have had to repair the infrastructure
We'll move to
anyway.
We'll move to
That
next.
would have had to occur anyway.
Ms. Washington,
I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, I'm sorry, because you made it very clear, you yield the floor, and you're
This is your
out.
terminology. I yield the floor for you
No.
to respond to me,
You yield the floor.
and you spoke in a riddle. So what I need to understand though,
Ms.
what I
Hopkins,
need
if you
to
want to talk
understand,
afterwards, you can.
I need to
No.
now, while
Ms. Hopkins,
Here's
you
the
are
question.
out.
Make your question
Let-
clear. I'm sorry, you're not clear. That's not clear to me what you're saying. That's not clear. Could you please elaborate it more?
Ms. Hopkins,
I don't
you are
understand.
out of order. Ms.
I don't
Washington, you're-
understand.
No, Council Clarence.
Tell me, I don't understand.
That's what we need to talk to you.
Answer the question.
So,
You know, when you,
Okay, clarify yourself, right?
Okay,
Answer the question.
so anyway.
you are out of order.
When you said that,
You are directed-
I'm sorry, I
you are
did not
directed to me.
understand
You are
what
directed
you
to me
meant by
by
that.
me.
Could you explain to me what you mean when you say?
You are
I
directed
don't
to
understand
me
this
before
new
you.
process. I'm not trying to be,
Ms. Hunter, what's your order?
I don't understand the new process. What do you mean when you say you? Do I have time?
Your time, no, you do not. Your time is up.
My time is up.
Ms.
So my
Washington,
time
you're
was
next.
on when it's time I was debating with you, so I still actually had more time.
You do not.
You know, again.
Again, man, don't
I'm
be
very
it.
knowledgeable.
So if you want to
You
talk
don't call
about
the police on love, but you don't call the police on the audience when they acting up.
Could you please just explain the procedure?
no,
Is that
ma'am,
what
I
you're saying?
did not explain anything because number one, you are out of order. Number two, you've been directed to go to the podium, and the next person to come up, I will talk to you after the meeting. So you are out of order and disturbing this meeting at this time. So
You're out of
you are
order.
asking
You
why.
didn't make no clarification. You asked as a citizen to clarify.
And I said, I will clarify.
Acting mayor.
I said, I will clarify after the meeting. Next person in line is Ms. Linda Washington.
You've been doing it, sit down.
They not gonna answer your
Somebody else.
question, girl.
You don't never say when you clarify, do it, okay. Get everything you want, don't you?
Please, ladies
I'm
and
arguing with you, Cass, I need.
The Washington 16th Assistant Board.
I can't talk to her.
Rosie.
Not that we own the airstrip, but I'm just, asking a question in regard to, I know other villages and other cities have those praying lights that's up in the, some are up the trees, some are up on poles, that pick up praying activity in the area. You know, I'm talking about those praying lights. Do we have any of those in Sauk Village?
Do you have anything else?
Oh, you, okay, this is your point, just ask a question, and then you answer actually. Okay, I want to know about that, and if we do, I would like to know how many do we have, and if we don't. Now that we are not paying for the airstrip, because as much as we was paying a month, I think it was $50,000 a month for the airstrip. Is the possibility that we could look into perhaps, I'm speaking on behalf of the Neighborhood Watch Program, allocate some of that money for some of those kinds of high technology things that we could do to help combat crime in the village. I think that would be a great asset and would make the villagers feel more secure and safe, knowing that their homes in certain areas would also be controlled and watched. But there wasn't a lot of police presence there in cars, that they had a mechanism where they still could be seen and patrolled by those kind of devices that's used by the police department. And my last question is, then what would it take to ascertain those? I would love to see those in Sauk Village. I know there's 3 hotspots where we can actually use those cameras. I don't know the range that they pick up, but I heard it was like 6 to 8 blocks of activity that they picked that up and they directed to the police station.
For the crime lights, no, we don't have any. We've had presentations before. They were, I don't remember, Rose did, you brought it in, right? It was quite pretty expensive. Yeah, so, yeah. We could look into it again. What we probably should do is maybe have someone else come back in again. We get someone else and find out. But I remember they were very impressive. Negotiating them really first. But again, I think it's a great idea. We'll get someone in here to do a presentation. Thank you very much. Yes.
I just have to make a comment. Observation. I think it's kind of wrong right now because I know that the residents talking on the issue.
Can you use the mic? I can't hear you. Please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. What I was asking the mayor was, I do understand that the resident was a little boisterous and was talking, but this is just my opinion. I don't think we needed to have the police officer to be here to do that. I mean, excuse me. I didn't think we needed, I mean, I don't think this, I don't think she was going to, you know, she was a disruptive guest. You waited out. But to have a police presence every time someone is disruptive, I don't think that's not the answer that we look for in this village like that.
There you go.
We don't need to do that. I mean, I understand the police officers are here and they're here to make the peace, but to put them in the middle of a debate, that's all she was trying to do was debate. All you had to do was just tell them next. But to call the police officers now, so it's like you're trying to, you know, put someone in the middle. And I just think that was right. That's just my opinion, that's all.
Allow me to piggyback on what Trustee Burgess was mentioning. Many times in these meetings, when we have debate about the presence of officers in this meeting, I've always suggested that we did need to have someone here in our meetings. But this board explained to me many times that an officer would not be needed because they know that they were safe in their own community. The board stated that they didn't believe that any resident would cause any havoc or would be a danger to any citizen. So therefore, they decided that they was not going to have the police presence in our board meetings. But I find out that every single time that a resident tries to express themselves more than this board wants them to, that either Rosie Williams will go and call the police department and have them here. I know what I'm saying, but she still did it. But she still did it. And Hanks, Trustee Hanks, had many times disrespected citizens in this board meeting.
I agree with you on that.
And he always wanted them removed once the citizens expressed themselves on how they felt about him. But nevertheless, when Lewis Towers was the mayor, and he tried to have people removed because of their disobedience in the board meetings, Hanks refused and didn't want them removed. He even protected some citizens and stood behind them.
That's right, he did.
So, and let me say this. Many times I have sat in this board and I've heard people call me names after names. For 3.5 years since I've been on this board, and I have said nothing. I have said nothing. I have said nothing to bring that disrespect on me. But when I said something back to them on how I felt about what they were saying, people like this board and the response from Trustee Williams, as you heard right now, is the same exact thing. The same exact thing. And I do believe on what Larry Stewart says. He has a great point. We must move forward. We cannot move forward with the trustees here and at some times their childish ways and a disrespectful figure to the people. It is very important that we understand who we are and who we work for. and we work for the public.
Politics.
All right.
We work for the public, and the public do not work for us. But when you come to these board members, one would think that the trustees were the sole proprietors and sole God in this village, and we are not. But every single time, the citizens react in a negative behavior that must be corrected so that it cannot continue. But on the flip side of this coin, every time the elected officials act in the same manner, they must be disciplined.
I'll see you later. How was your vacation?
And respect and brought to the heart to that activity. But it has not been. We have people on one side of the room versus the other side of the room. It is a division here. We cannot move forward with a division. We have to learn how to work together and make intelligent decisions in these board members, in these board meetings. Thank you very much.
All right, trustee, thank you very much. Just so that the residents know, I did ask for a police officer to come, and no one's been arrested. But however, we have made it very clear that we're going to make sure we have order and decorum inside these meetings. The beginning of the public comment, we made it very clear that the public has 3 minutes. They have the opportunity to speak once. We allow them to have 3 minutes. If you want to take the full 3 minutes, we will sit here and if you have nothing to say, you can take your full 3 minutes. There will be no discussion back and forth. And once we answer the questions to the best of our abilities, you'll be asked to leave the podium. If you have additional questions, the trustees and myself are here after the meetings. I encourage residents to come up and talk to us if you don't feel like you get your questions answered. And again, the officer's only here to make sure that we have order and decorum. Because there's residents here that want to hear what's going on, and they are unable to hear it when residents are yelling and screaming back and forth. And we're not going to allow it to happen. This is a place of business. This is a municipality. And we will run this meeting in order, and then we'll be decorum. So we'll move to next, Mr. Kimball.
Good evening. My name is Eddie Kimball. I stay on Peterson Avenue. Part of my time, suggestion. In the likelihood of conversation, if I ask a question, and if I don't get the answer, or if I'm confused about the answer given, I would like clarity. They talk about that in business 101 and in communication class. So when I ask a question, if you don't answer my question the way I understand it, then I feel that as a citizen, a tax-paying citizen of this village, I have the right to get clarity to that question. That's not a form of disrespect. That's a form of understanding. And if we all understand that, then we all can move forward without calling the police, which I really don't care if they're here or not. So with that being said, I will hope that this board will understand and re-look at that, Mr. Acting Mayor, with your position being that it is, to understand how your citizens feel. And since you're running for mayor, it will only be advantageous to help all of the citizens, not just some of them. One of my questions was, I came up asking about the gym. I would like to know, what is the process of renting the gym in this village? Another question, there was a drug bust on my block a couple weeks ago. If someone else is selling drugs, how do we discreetly report that so that we don't get told on by the police in Sauk Village, which has happened on many occasions? Third, if wells 1, 2, and 3 come up online, and if we spend the money for the air strippers, what is the likelihood of getting Lake Michigan water after we spend all those dollars and cents to get wells 1, 2, and 3 up, because it's going to take a lot of money, quite a bit of money actually from the reports that I've heard. And if we have a leakage now, regardless if it's Lake Michigan water, wells 1, 2, or 3, wouldn't it still benefit us to fix the infrastructure so that if we're utilizing the wells, we don't have a leak, or if we're utilizing Lake Michigan water, we don't have a leak? So don't the infrastructure need to be repaired regardless if it's well water or Lake Michigan water? And if so, then why don't we communicate with Ms. Madigan what the people of this village voted for and move forward, because it is the people of this village who are doing the voting for you all that's sitting up there.
You may set time if you want to yield the floor.
I'm good.
Let's go over a couple of these questions that you want to talk about. Renting the gym, do you have an application? Okay. Let me look into it. Okay, I will definitely look into it. About reporting drug activity within your community, there's a couple things we've done. Is number one, we reached out to the pastors in the community, to the local churches, where residents can, if they go to these local churches, they can talk to their local pastors. And the pastors will get me the information, whether they give me the names of their congregation, they'll give me addresses. Or you can call, and if you don't want to leave your name, you can either call the police department, but they're going to ask for your name, or you can call my office. If you don't want to leave your name, you don't have to, just leave me an address. And what I've been doing is making sure that the police department gets these locations. Because I know sometimes that residents are afraid of retaliation in their neighborhood, and they don't want to leave their name, they don't want to leave their address. So we've made it a lot easier where residents can come and inform us of areas that where there's high crime, especially when we talk about drugs, things like that, without having to get them involved and have that fear of retaliation. So we do have that in place also. Likelihood of Lake Michigan water. We're working with the IP and the Attorney General. We're doing exactly what they requested, getting the wells up and running, fix our infrastructure, and then go back and apply for Lake Michigan water. And that's the whole entire plan. To get down, because when you talk about the leakage repairs, the repairs have to be made. You're correct. But they will not give us Lake Michigan water because we have so much water leaking in the ground. Lake Michigan water is considered as a natural resource. And there is laws that govern them giving you that water. The other thing, the other reason they will not give us Lake Michigan water is because so much of that water is leaking in the ground. Once Sauk Village gets Lake Michigan water, it'll be like a meter at the end of Sauk Village. As that water comes into Sauk Village still has to pay for that water. And with that much water leaking into the ground, if you want to say 30, if you want to say 50%, that is 30-50% over and above what the village residents are going to have to pay. And the village residents will have to pay for that water that they never see because it's going to the ground. That's why they require 8% or less water leakage in the ground. They figure, I guess communities can afford that 8%. So I think I've answered all your questions, the ones that, again, the bullet points, I don't write the full questions. You want my phone number?
You said call your office.
You can call my office, area code 708-753-5124. And if you don't want to leave your name, don't leave your name, just, what we do need is an address. I need an address, and I need to know if it's drug activity, if it's gangs, whatever kind of problems it is, just give me a brief description. And that information goes directly to the police department.
Yes, sir.
I just have one question for you. There's a hotline that the police department has for drug activity and for speeding. For a while, it was in the Sauk Talk under every police department report. To my knowledge, it hasn't been in there for a while, so I'll contact the police department to put that in there. It used to be right at the end of their article in the Sauk Talk, and it's an anonymous hotline. You can call and say that there's lots of speeding on this street between this and this, so they can kind of like stake it out and catch the speeders. You can say that there's a lot of drug activity on this house or on this corner or whatever, and like I said, they haven't put it in there admittedly in the past couple of issues, but I'll talk to the police department about getting that in that part.
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry, Mr. Kimball,
Yes, sir.
when you requested the usage of the community center, who did you ask?
The trustee on me, I forget his name.
Mr. Poskin?
Yes, sir.
Now, I need some
Oh,
clarity.
I'm sorry, he's right. First, I asked Ms. Sherry, that works in the building zone department, and she told me we don't rent it out at all.
Okay.
And
Well,
then
now,
I left to Mr.
Mr. Papa, I need some clarity here, because I think you asked the wrong people. When Mr. Parkins was appointed over Parks and Recs, he was not appointed over the building. Trustee Haynes said that he was not over the community center. He was only over Parks and Recs. So your question for the community center should have went to Mr. Stewart, who he said was over the building part of Parks and Recs. So you asked the wrong person. You have a right to go to the person who's in charge of the building. It is not Mr. Pockins, according to this trustee here, Trustee Haynes. It's Mr. Stewart, Cortez Stewart is over the community center. He's over the community center, not Mr. Pockins. It was quite clear and made by Trustee Haynes that Mr. Pockins was not over the community center. Thank you.
Mr. Kimball, I will look into it though. And then, again, if you want to talk to Mr. Cortez, if you don't get the answer you think you should receive, you should get back with me. You got my direct line to my phone. So, let's see what we can do with it. Thank you. Next.
Of course, I am Francine Anderson, and I'm at 1606 216th Street. And this is the meeting where we can talk and say anything if you're interested in the same. And so, first of all, I would like to say, Ms. Bernadette, an apology, because all the lady was doing was asking you for clarification. And for you to go off and then for the police to have to come, I think that was very disrespectful of that particular citizen. Now, I move on to the other comments I had. I wanted to thank Mr. Raul, who has left the building, for answering all of my questions that I had last week about the appropriations and the monies and how they were spent. He was very timely. I sent it to him in an email, and I wanted to thank him for doing that. The next thing I wanted to say is I want to also thank Amalgamated Bank for being good trustees of our money. Because thank God the money ain't here in Sauk Village, because no telling how you would spend it. So I'm good to see that we'll finally be able to continue to abate some of our bonds, but of course, surely we're going to have to pay some more taxes for the 2007 A, B, and C as usual. But what the heck? Just like we're paying now, $7.50 for water that's supposed to be getting Lake Michigan water. I have a question. I had all comments tonight, because the other part of that is you keep talking about what the Illinois Department of Natural Water said about getting Lake Michigan water. It wasn't there. You're taking information from what Watson said and whatever. But I was sitting there. The people said to us clearly that our problem was our leakage. Not that we can't get down to the 1%, I mean the 8%, you keep rounding off 8%. They said it's a range, and it's between 8 and 25, but you went at the meeting, so you would not know that. The other thing is, when you're talking about getting leakage done, we said there in 2010, you're right, when we talked about air stripping at first, we talked about getting the leak study. What happened? We didn't have the money. Tell people the truth. You sit there and you're acting like everything is new, everything is everything can only be done with this administration. All of you trustees sit here 3.5 years with Lewis Towers, with these same problems, and you did nothing. Now you're going to sit here and act like, since you're the acting mayor, you're the trustee. Remember, you also got a seat on the Housing Commission. That's 4 years, that's a term. You continue with that abuse. You sit here and tell a man to call you about a drug problem when you're supposed to have our police department do it. You sit here and you talk about what board works. Matter of fact, tomorrow will be 1 year that we passed the referendum. I'm for you, and you have done nothing for infrastructure. In 364 days, nothing has been done for infrastructure. Do you sit here and you tell me the IEPA will give us a loan for $5 million so we can do the infrastructure when you did not spend one red dime in a whole 364 days? Let's get it right. You sit here and you have people you disrespect, you try to act like we got everything going on that's super good. It ain't good. And you all are involved. Not just me, but all trustees too.
Ms. Hoskins, right? Ms. Hoskins? Yes, you.
Go ahead, Trustee Benson, you have something to
Let me
say?
apologize for the way that the acting mayor and the board has treated you. It really was
It was very inappropriate for how you was treated, and But this is what happens when people come up to express their concerns about the village and there are no answers. You have many of, as you can see, some of our citizens are a reflection of some of these board members. And that is very terrible that we have to act that way. We need to get ourselves together and grow up and act like elected officials, like the adults that we said we are. But because of it, we have not and cannot move forward. But until that is done, and until, I'm going to say, until we bring some godliness into this village, it will never happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm just making very clear that the officer wasn't called for Ms. Hopkins. And Ms. Hopkins, I made it very clear I would meet me after the meeting to go over some of this clarification. The officer was brought in to bring order and decorum because the audience was starting to get out of hand, and certain individuals that were sitting in the back were young and screaming. So that's why the officer was called in, not for Ms. Hopkins, but for order. And this is what we got. We have order and decorum. So, all right, we move to item number 6, miscellaneous business from the trustees. Start with trustee Newman.
Just a couple of things. The Student Government Day report update. The Public Relations Committee has still not received the names from Rickover for our winners. While we were communicating with them about the importance of the names, we were told that they had a play going on that same night, which is scheduled for Student Government Day. So, without us knowing, without them giving us the names, we can't know if the winners are part of the play or not. So it was discussed throughout the committee to hold off on Student Government Day and postpone it until April 23rd. That being said, another thing that we're discussing as a part of the committee is the demeanor of meetings like this. We're free for free now for Student Government Day, having to alter it in some way, shape, or form, because as a board, as an audience, as adults, we cannot conduct ourselves in a manner that I would like to see 8th graders witness. If this is any indication of what next Tuesday would have been like, there's no way we can have the kids here. I go back to 2 years ago, we had the water topic, hot debate on Student Government Day. Student Government Day was postponed for an hour and a half. Kids had to be removed to go to the senior center because we couldn't get our acts together. Because we're not mature enough to be 8th graders. Then I go to last year, elected officials, public, our department heads, were not even invited to Student Government Day because it meant we couldn't get our acts together. So now this year, we were hoping that because we've had some decent meetings, things have been calm. We were hoping that we could actually bring in the Student Government Day experience back to the 8th graders like they deserve. Being able to sit there with their elected official or their department head, have the ability to talk with them, ask them about what they're supposed to do, have them, if they have any questions about their report, have any questions about the way they vote, actually be sworn in, actually be conducting a meeting. I thought it might actually happen. Last week, with the whole minute debacle, and I stated that we shouldn't do this because of Student Government Day, at the end of that meeting, I said, I'm having flashbacks. And this, of what happened tonight, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to allow my 8th graders to deal with this. This is ridiculous. It's usually something nice for the kids. It's usually something that all the trustees and department heads get to participate in. And there's absolutely no way that we're going to continue this. It's too close. I've said multiple times from this chair up there, this chair over here, the chair in the back, that we need to work in the seat we hold now and not look so far ahead to the seat we all want. There's no politicking in this building, and I'm not trying to politic, I'm not trying to say that. But everybody is so focused on the outcome of April 9th that we forgot that today, March 19th, we have a job to do. And it's becoming ridiculous. So I'm just asking, everybody was talking about respect. I agree. Yes, absolutely. Let's keep the respect going. respect does not mean getting up on a podium and yelling at anybody. That's not respect. Respect does not mean going back and forth and over talking to anybody. That's not respect. So I ask that we can please understand, people in the audience, people up here, understand that we know it's gonna be a rough road, let's not make it any rougher. And I would really like to bring Student Government Day back to a public arena, back with the trustees. But if we have another meeting like this, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not gonna have it. I still ask that the reports are available to the kids, so if you guys can still write the report. Because the date has been changed, we will not need them on the date that requested, so I will need them by Friday, April 12th. So the department heads will receive a memo, board members receive a memo, that Friday, April 12th is when I need the Student Government Day reports. And the Student Government Day tentatively is set for April 23rd. That's if it's going to include the public and the department heads. If not, then we will have it for April 30th, which is Tuesday, and it will be closed to the public and all elected officials besides myself and those who have to attend.
Trustee Rich.
Thank you. I just have a comment. Well, first of all, I'd like to make a comment about the businesses in the village. As was stated before, we have businesses that are closing. And it's a sad shape because a lot of this is why we have to levy. A lot of this is why we have to pay the bills on the back of the people. Because we don't have the tax money coming in. That's the first thing that we have to find a solution, and I think we put our heads together. However, a point of observation and a point of clarity, because I know what I stated earlier may have been taken out of context, but I want to say this. Leadership starts at the top. You give what you expect to get. If I didn't say that for any accolades. I didn't say that. I just want to make the observation that we've been on this road for quite a while. I thought that we were trying to mend this 2 years ago, and we did form a bridge 2 years ago. But now it seems like it's getting more segregated. And we don't need this. This is just a small village, people. We don't have any money. We don't have any resources, as you can see. Everyone's leaving. Don't you understand that if we have nobody here to pay the bills, we have to levy. We have to put it on the backs of the people. Everything, all your resources, all of your services. I'm not asking everyone to get along because that's almost impossible. The world is that way. But we have to try to work together for the betterment and the improvement and to move this village forward. And that starts at the top. Not necessarily saying that, we need to do this or we need to do that. I'm looking at all of us. When you point the finger out, you got three coming back at you. We have an election coming. Yes, we do. Please. And I beg each and every person out here, whoever it may be, whatever side you may be on, please act accordingly. Do what you have to do, but don't disrespect one another. I didn't like the fact that when we have a problem, that we have to call an outside force, that outside force being our police department, and bring them in the middle of this. That's the part I didn't like. We don't need the police department to solve our problems here inside this rotunda. If you're in charge or if you're being disruptive, guess what? Just wait it out. Just wait it out till you decide. Sooner or later you'll get tired of talking. But if we call the authorities each and every time, then what are they supposed to feel? Now you're making animosity on both sides, and we don't need that. We live here together. We don't need to have each one of us, because we're neighbors. It may be your neighbor next door that you're arguing with, then you may need that same person when you need help out here. So don't ostracize each other. That's all I'm asking, is that we respect one another. Because if we don't do that, then what else do we have? A village divided? We don't need a village divided. I know everyone is saying, well, wait, or why this and what? We don't. We live here together. I think everyone moved out here. And I'll say it again. I think everyone that moved out here, welcome to diversity. Think about it. Think about why you live here. And that's all I ask, is that we take in consideration each and every one of our feelings, take in consideration that we have to respect one another, because after April 9th, who's ever here, whoever's in charge or whatever, we have to get that office, that seat, respect, and also with your trustees, because that's who's going to move your village forward. The people you put here in that particular spot, so you have to get respect. Thank you.
Mr. Kimball still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Benson, to let you know, or Trustee Benson, to let you know what was going on, is he did come to me, and I went to Cortez to get permission and to get a date for Mr. Kimball. And then I came into the insurance problem. So that's where it's at right now. Yes, Cortez is aware. I did take the proper steps. I did everything that was necessary, and we're still trying to get him that gymnasium. That's all I have to say.
Trustee Benson? Trustee Myers?
Thank you. First of all, I would like a clarification. Is the community center, the gym section, can it be rented the one side or is it down? I always thought it was, even in the last change. Can people come fill an application and submit it to the proper people and get it?
So this is the first time I've had this happen that I know, so I don't know.
There is no application for the gymnasium side. There's only an application for the old senior center. Okay, and the fees on that were $25 per hour.
Okay, do they go to the trustee or do they go to Cortez?
I think what we'll do is, let me dig into it and find out exactly what they've got, what's been done in the past. And then if we have to, if there's nothing out there, we'll set a time for Mr. Kimball to come back and present to the village board at a committee meeting. I have no problem, that's what we'll do going forward. But let's make sure first, let's look at past policy, let's look at past precedents, what we've done, and let's see if there's anything. And then, and like I said, of course, this is the last committee meeting for the month. If you don't have an answer before the end of the month, we'll make sure you're on the agenda for the first meeting in April. Is that acceptable? Okay.
Trustee Burke?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the reason, I thought maybe the mayor might have told you earlier. They don't rent the gym out unless you have your own insurance. Even though we have our insurance, it doesn't cover everything. Even though, they tell you that you signed a waiver, I found that out.
Okay.
That waiver is thrown in the garbage if someone actually gets hurt while they're trying to play. So it's a lot of insurance. Rather than do that, the Boy Scouts do, but they have their own insurance.
Okay.
Boy Scouts have their own insurance. That's the only reason why they're able to come there. But you have to have your own insurance to rent the gym, and that's why the gym itself, the gym and everything, was never rented out, because they have to have their own insurance. I think it's a couple of $1 million.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask Francie Anderson one question?
Francine.
You and I went out and got insurance this last half. I know it's changed now. But didn't the gentleman say that every building that this entire village owns will be covered regardless of what use it's used for?
Every ground.
Okay, and I know we changed. But that was my understanding that everything, any property we have anywhere in this village was covered by that umbrella policy. So
the lawyers told us, you're right in the case, but we can still be liable after the fact. That's why we never did it. You're right because of certain things, but we never did it for certain sprains, ankles, whatever. We did not cover. And
I don't know where I'm carrier that now.
No, we just carry on certain things. Like I said, they can breach them, but my thing would be to ask the lawyer and make sure that would be mine.
Okay. The other thing that is asked. I just want to remind something about it, and I'm not going to go too far. It's not confidential. And it was a letter from the Illinois EPA and Attorney General that we all received. It's just one paragraph. And that everybody has to understand. And it reads, the village is under enforcement action with the Illinois Attorney General, and the proposal project will be constructed and on schedule determined by this enforcement agency. Based upon the project plan, the following schedule will be proposed. This project schedule was designed by the Illinois EPA, approved by the Attorney General. People, I don't care if we had $100 million in everything, the Attorney General and the Illinois EPA, once the residents in this village brought these people in, we bow by them. That's it, bottom line. So if you got complaints, you want something to change, contact the Attorney General at the Illinois EPA. Bottom line, right here, document signed by the director. But we're behind by them. And we had a lot of arguments over the water situation, but then things happened that the Illinois EPA got involved, next thing you know, the Attorney General got involved, and I can tell you right now, Ms. Madigan is not a woman to be mucking with. She has the power, she can levy it down. So, just let people know that there's a referendum out there. As long as I got anything said about, we're going to go through that referendum. And I'm not going to go for that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee. Just a few last things here. Special call meeting next Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're bringing the insurance carrier in to go over, that'd be the Owens Group, to go over the policy. As we all know, the policy has to be approved by March 27th, so next Tuesday is March 26th. I talked to him a little bit today. They've got some good news coming back to the village board. He has to finish up some final numbers, but we're going to get some cost savings this year. So again, we'll keep our fingers crossed that once everything is finalized, we'll see some good cost savings. The other thing too is we already mentioned it, April 2nd, 6:45 p.m. Here at the Village Hall Public Hearing. I know we've had much discussion, and I know Trustee Williams is a little upset, but I think we should move forward to Government Day. I think tonight's meeting, even though it might have been a little heated, I think the residents got up, they got to have their say. Tonight is a time where residents can say anything they want. I don't have a problem with that. I encourage it. At a regular board meeting, it's on agenda items only. So it's a great time for the students. I don't think we should hold something back. And again, tonight, look, it's not even 8:30 yet. We've had 2 meetings. We had a special call meeting. We got business done. We've had presentations tonight. We've talked about ordinances and stuff that we're going to be passing. And the trustees have had quite a bit of time tonight talking. So, again, Trustee Williams, if you want to meet later, I think this is something we should move forward. It's for the youth of our community. I understand that we have to move it off. And again, it's we're looking at the end of April. The elections will be over, so I think it'll be a great time. So, and again, even though I did call for a police officer, I think one thing we remember too is order and decorum. That is what's important, number one. Number two, even Congress itself has someone there called a Sergeant of Arms, and they help keep order and decorum. And we're getting business done. That's what's important. We're moving forward. It's not 11 o'clock, it's not 12 o'clock, it's not 1 o'clock in the morning, it's not 2 o'clock in the morning. And most of these people, I'm going to shut up here in a minute, you go home, you catch the next series, whatever comes on at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much, residents. I appreciate it. I ask for a motion to adjourn. We have a motion, is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Get over that? Yep. Yes, sir.